Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of February. I hope you are well. Happy birthday if you are a February Pisces. I'm using the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot for you today. A little bit of housekeeping before we begin. If the reading resonates with you and you would like to go a little bit deeper, there is there's an extended that you can access at the end. That is the first link in the description box. The second link in the description box is to the 6-month overviews that I've done for each of the signs. I actually did yours twice because the first time I recorded it there was no audio. Actually, let's just check that there is audio before I go any further here, because I'm a bit paranoid about that now. There is. Awesome. So if you're interested in finding out what that time frame has in store for you, and it's a time that contains a lot of change, there's a lot of outer planetary movement going on, certainly towards the back end of that 6-month period, you know what to do. That's the second link in the description box. The third link is to my private community, the Order of the Phoenix, over on Circle. If you would like to check that out, you are also more than welcome to do so. So let's have a look and see what's going on with you, Pisces. So 3 cards for Pisces. We have 10 of Wands in reverse for your recent past. Current energy for Pisces. We have the 6 of Wands and the Tower, which is a really lovely combination. I actually really like that. And what's coming towards Pisces for February, please? It's coming towards Pisces. Fucking hell. These cards just want to go. There we go. We have 2. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the Ace of Wands with the Moon at the bottom of the deck. Let me just flip this around so I can see how wonky my camera is today. Just change these around accordingly. Let's get that in the way. So there we are. We have the Moon at the bottom of the deck. Sorry, there is Liz. And now we have a helicopter. Hopefully the microphone isn't picking that up too much, but it's clear to see rather, that there are some big changes going on with you at this point. I think. Sorry about the helicopter. It's quite traditional, I think, around our birthdays, our solar return, that we start thinking about how we might make the next year run differently to the one that we've just had. And there seems to be here, broadly speaking, a desire for things not to be quite so hard as they have been for you of late. And the changes that are coming in seem to be entirely self-directed. But it's a definite change of direction for you. That's what we're seeing here. It isn't just, oh, I'm going to start some new things, take up some new hobbies, anything like that. Whenever the Tower's involved, it's about a change of direction. And that can be really quite profound. I mean, with this Ace of Wands here, I think it will be quite profound for you. Let's get some clarifiers and see what's going on here. 10 of Wands in reverse. Why is that here? We have the Emperor. Oh, good Lord. We've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, and we also have the 4 of Cups in reverse, which is a really nice combination. Tell me about the 6 of Wands and the Tower. Ooh, Judgment card. Yes. Page of Cups, a card that I associate with you often, Pisces, even though it doesn't have a strict astrological correspondence. And we have the Strength card. Okay, tell me about the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands. 10 of Wands, 3 of Swords, and whatever that is, 10 of Swords. I actually really like this. I don't want you to be concerned by those Swords cards there. In fact, any of those 3 cards there, because we've got the Sun. Let's put it there. You can see it's Sun card at the bottom of the deck. This is a resoundingly positive reading for you, Pisces. I can see that before we even get started. But let's start over here with this 10 of Wands in reverse. Now, the 10 of Wands can sometimes be a welcome card, because although it does talk about burden and it talks about things being very, very difficult, it does indicate an end to that because it's numbered 10. But the way that the cards are playing out here, it seems to me that there is a question of what you have made hard for yourself in whatever way that applies, right? when I see the Ten of Wands and the way that they're usually kind of wrapped up like this, it's like, how the fuck are you supposed to transport those cards anywhere? It's difficult. It's they're not well stacked for it, you know, they're not in nice neat piles or anything like that, you know. If you were to try and pick up those wands and move with them in that configuration, that arrangement, it would be making things deliberately difficult for yourself. And I think that there's an awareness of where you have made things difficult for yourself. Now, maybe it's because you spent some of Mercury retrograde in Capricorn season, you know, considering what you might do better, you know, how you can refine your plans or even, you know, your goals in and of themselves, let alone the way that you reach there. But this Emperor card, Five of Swords and the Four of Cups in the reverse down here, tell me a story of somebody who is not prepared to continue to make their own life difficult. You know, when the Emperor comes in, it does talk about control, and this is quite a stern looking Emperor compared to ones that we usually see across the tarot. You know, he's got this big black dog here, but it feels like a sense of responsibility is starting to kind of percolate through. And it's like, well, if things are difficult, if I am genuinely finding things hard, where am I making these things hard for myself? Yeah, we can blame other people and we can blame situations, but ultimately the power rests with us. So what can we do to change it? And that Emperor energy is about planning, often about strategy. It's about getting your shit together, quite honestly. We have this Five of Swords and Four of Cups here, and I love the combination of it, because the Five of Swords in reverse is a stabilization of what is an inherently unstable energy, and it's to do with the way that you think. It's to do with the way that you have perceived things up until this point. So if it was turning up in the upright, I would be like, ooh, Pisces, you've gone down a wrong mental track here somewhere, right? There's something going on here that isn't quite right, you know. And we can talk about, you know, aspects of Pyrrhic victory or self-sabotage, that kind of thing. Well, this card is in reverse, so it is a stabilization, right? Where we realize that we've been doing things the wrong way or thinking about things the wrong way and making our life difficult. This Four of Cups, for me in the reverse, always talks about a sense of gratitude. You know, we have someone who is looking out of the window, and it looks very much like the grass is greener on the other side, where she doesn't perceive the Four Cups as they exist, you know, within the theatre of that card right there. And she's mourning, but she's certainly pining for something else. Now, the fact that the Emperor has come in here makes me feel like, instead of pining for that other thing, it's like, why am I not going after that other thing? Why am I not doing the thing? I'm grateful for what I have, but I would like to be grateful for the other things too, and I would like to begin the process of actually bringing those things towards me. So then in your current energy, you've got this Six of Wands and the Tower card, and like I said, whenever the Tower comes up, it's a redirection. People are often quite scared of this card because it does talk about sudden, unpredictable shifts in things, but we can be our own towers, and I do feel like that's what's happening with you here this month, Pisces. Now, you know, one way of looking at the Six of Wands and the Tower together could be, well, your success lies in shaking everything up, you know. So I can't be successful until I do this thing, right? Whatever it is, however it resonates with you. But another way of looking at it would be that there's no growth in staying where you are. You know, maybe for some of you, redefining what success actually means is an important part of this process. You know, if you are working to, say, for example, a Capricornian ideal of what success looks like, it involves wealth, it involves status, it involves being seen to be an expert at something, right? Because Capricorn's all about mastery and that sort of thing. But what does success as a Pisces look like? If you were to suspend the rules that everybody works to, and I do feel like these outer planetary movements that I was referring to right at the beginning of the reading are going to be doing a lot of that sort of thing, then what does your perfect life look like? And if you know what your perfect life looks like, why isn't it here? I could say, oh, I haven't got any money, or I haven't done this, or I haven't got that, or that. But these are all just minor obstacles, actually, in the way. Because I think when it comes down to it, what success means to you, the state that you're in when you feel like you're winning, is a little more abstract than for a lot of other signs. Certainly for, say, for example, an earth sign. There's a focus on the material with the earth signs, and there's a focus on efficiencies and building and delayed gratification and all that kind of thing. I'm reminded of that quote. It's attributed to Einstein, but I don't know if it actually is. Every animal is a genius, but if you measure a fish's intelligence level by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to spend its entire life thinking that it's stupid. Now, if the climbing of the tree and the tree itself is what we have been conditioned to understand as success, then no wonder, Pisces, it's never felt like you were quite as successful as you could be. But if you are putting yourself into an environment where you can flourish, and I don't mean just putting yourself in water, I mean looking at the environment that your mindset is sitting in, right? What is the contents of your head? What is the contents of your heart? What are the expectations that you put on yourself? How can these be adjusted? How can these be changed? How can these be something that is far more in alignment with what you, as a Pisces, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, feels like you want to get out of your life this time around? We've got the Judgment card there, and I love this depiction of ascension that we've got going on in this card. I've actually been using the Tower of the Abyss so long that when I see the Judgment card come up, it actually feels like I should call it the Awakenings card, because it's that step before we hit the world, right? It's card number 20. The world is 21, although there are 22 cards in the major arcana. And the world is graduation. The world is leaving behind an old cycle, right? It's completion. It's leveling up. It's all of those things. Well, the preceding point to that is this. It's ascending. Looking at the environment that your thoughts and your emotions exist within, and go, is this the best place for my thoughts and my emotions and my soul, indeed, to flourish? There's an astrologer that I follow on Instagram called Colby Barrett. He's absolutely phenomenal, by the way. You should all go and check him out. His Mercury's in Pisces, interestingly enough. And I had the pleasure of a consultation with him. I consulted him, not the other way around. And he said something really, really interesting, which is that, in his opinion, Aries is the wrong sign to be the beginning of the zodiac. He thinks it should be Pisces. Now, we think about Pisces in terms of the culmination of all of the lessons that have gone before in all of the zodiac signs, right? But what's the first rule of manifestation? You have to visualize it. You have to imagine it. You have to be able to treat it as if it already exists. Everything starts with imagination, and that's your realm, Pisces. Everything starts with that ability to be able to visualize ways in which things can be different, right? Or even an appreciation of things the way that they are right now, not being what you want moving forwards. So how can it change? Now, Aries might be the initiatory point, and we absolutely have that here. But Pisces is the one that gives it the insight in the first place to understand that it's time to initiate something new. This is the kind of energy that I'm seeing here for you, Pisces. And like I said, it might well be redefinitions of success. How much have you internalized what everybody else told you a good life was? And how much have you damaged yourself in trying to follow that? Because ultimately, anything that is other than your Pisces experience, right? A true Pisces experience, is inauthentic. Now, we have this card here. This is Page of Cups, which I say often I associate with Pisces. It's just got that kind of whimsical feel about it. Exploratory feel about it. We've got a new place for your emotions to start here. We've got a new base of growth almost, right? This is the first card in the court hierarchy of the water suit. But then we have the Strength card, right? Leo. But a card that talks about personal growth, personal expansion. You know, there's so much green on that card. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, and it's the colour of healing. It's the colour of the heart chakra. So what we've got here is you leaning into a really authentic expression of your emotions and your energies, and being concerned with like where you go from here. If I stop trying to be a fish that is climbing a tree and I started to be something else, what would that look like? It would look like an authentic expression of Pisces energy, is what I think. So then we have the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands. The Queen of Wands is Aries energy right there, and the Ace of Wands is the spark of initiation. Right? It's the seed that contains the full potentiality of the Wands suit, and it's interesting how we're coming full circle here with the Ten of Wands appearing twice and the Ace of Wands here. You know, maybe, in fact, I just want to skip back here. What we've got there with that Ten of Wands is a realization that in trying not to make your life hard, you have actually made your life a little bit harder than it needed to be. You know, there are certain things that required, I don't know, an authentic expression of your energy. And instead what you've done is kind of shackled it down somewhat. You know, strapped it down, being all like, oh, the world's not quite ready for the level of Pisces that I have to unleash at them here. But here, if this dream state, if this Neptunian state of the Pisces right here is imagining something coming into being, then here's the spark where that will happen. And I actually love that the Ten of Wands is appearing there, because as you will notice, in the Triple Goddess, and I have an obscene number of decks, and this is the only one where someone's actually put the burden down. We have this sense that we're not going to continue doing it the way that we have done, right? Understanding the importance of rest. We can't work ourselves until we're so fatigued that we can't see. I was talking to someone yesterday and I'd said, you know, I've just realised I've got no time management skills whatsoever, but what I do have is the capacity to work myself beyond the point of death, to be able to get things done, and I rely on that. And actually I feel like my life could be a lot easier if I just, you know, learned how to manage my time a little bit more. I mean, the shades of that going on here. Do you have to carry all 10 wands at the same time? Do you have to carry them like that? Because that seems very inefficient to me. I don't like that at all. You know, at some point there was a cost-benefit analysis that was run, probably by your subconscious, because we do have the moon here, that said, I can't be all-out Pisces about things all of the time, because my friends, my family, my society, my culture tells me that I have to do things in a way that is other than Pisces. So I'll try and take, you know, the edges off, and I'll just be kind of like a Pisces doing my best in a world that isn't really set up to take me in the way that I am. Well, somewhere along the line, that cost-benefit analysis has proven to have cost you more than it has benefited you. And this change that I see coming in here feels to me to be an acceptance of that. More than just the acceptance of that, there is forgotten the word that I'm looking for. There's an initiative being taken on here, a personal initiative, like I'm not going to do these things anymore. We see this Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords underneath here, and it's like, I am not going to put myself in positions where where what other people think is important, where I allow what other people think to pierce my heart. But I won't let my mind get in the way of what my heart is trying to do. Like, you're an emotional creature. And I think one of the reasons why Pisces thinks so hard is because it's difficult to be as receptive and sensitive and as emotional as you are in a world such as we live in at the moment. It's almost par for the course that you're going to be injured somewhere along the way, but there's a strength in you that is emerging here, Pisces, where it says, I'm going to do my thing. Whatever that thing is, I'm going to do it. I'm changing my view of success. I'm changing my perspective on what I think the world should be giving me, and indeed what I should be giving the world. And I'm going to relax into letting all of this out. I say relax into, but it seems very pointed, actually. You know, if a lot of the problems that you've had over the years, not being able to articulate exactly what you need from other people, right, and being in a place where you are primed to give other people what they need, and eventually that leads to some sort of heartbreak for you, you know, and endings and difficult things when it becomes too much and it takes too much from you. It's about building up the strength internally so that you can continue being Pisces and be authentically and strongly Pisces. You can bring this incredible level of insight and wisdom of the emotional to the table. But what comes back at you doesn't have an opportunity to pierce your heart in the same way. You know, this could be as simple as really just dedicating yourself to what makes you happy. But this is such a big energy in the middle here. You know, we've got the Sun card over here. There's another Leo card. You've got both of them right there. And this is talking about somebody who is filling their life, growing into their life, growing into their power, growing into their energy, and having it be experienced in a way that is full of joy instead of sorrow and hard work. You're starting something new in February, for sure. And it might be a project, it might be something, you know, of a tangible nature. But I really do think that this is more of an overhaul of your internal space. And there's a resolution to start doing things very, very differently. I wonder if the world is quite ready for what you're about to bring, Pisces. It doesn't really matter. This is the thing. It doesn't matter if they're ready for it or not. You've dreamed it. You've imagined it. You've seen it. You've felt it. And February is the first step on the road to making that vision reality. This is very, very powerful stuff. It's like you're creating fertile ground ready for some pretty intense manifestations in the next few months. I mean, I've been banging on about Uranus going direct because it was the very last planet that was in retrograde. I thought it was the 26th, but it actually went direct on the 22nd. So we now have a fairly unusual 3-month period where all planets are direct. You know, the stasis that we associate with retrograde motion, where we're asked to kind of slow down, stop, consider, all those kind of things, that is gone. And we have 3 straight months where if there is anything that you want to change, if there is everything that you want to change, then you are in a position to be able to do that and grow in the process. Take what you've visualized, take what you've dreamed, take that Neptunian energy and allow the spark, because it's coming for you. Like this, leaving. This, very much arriving. And you could look at these cards and say, well, perhaps there is some sadness associated with what you might have to leave behind in order to do this. I don't feel it at all. You feel resolved, resolute, determined that this will not be your experience any longer. It's going to be this, and this, and this, and this. This is wonderful, Pisces. I really like this. Oh, wonderful. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I would just sit here and, you know, tell you how wonderful it is. But I actually want you to go out there and live it. So I'm going to go over to Vimeo now and do the extended. If you would like to join me over there, we'll be looking at February specifically. Please do feel free. Like I said, it's the first link in the description box. But if not, just know that you've got a big green light from the universe to go ahead, right? Start that process. Allow it to begin. Consider the possibility that you are built for something other than climbing a tree. And really, I mean, conceptually, what the fuck is the point of a tree to you if you're a fish, you know? This is really, really good. I like it. Okay. So, know that I love you all very, very much. And I will see you soon.